crazy new law they got where they got to have 13 inches between the horns. That messed me up bad to start with, 'cause the place I hunted across the road from my house, and I cut me a place all the way down to the creek. Well, it stayed dark down there a lot longer than it did up on the hill there where the sun could shine in it all the time. And not the last one I killed, but pretty close to the last one I killed, he come out down there. All I could tell was he had horns. I couldn't tell how far apart they were, even looking through my scope, or how many points he had, or nothing. All I knew was he was a buck, and that was before they made that law. And I shot him, and he fell right in his tracks. He didn't go nowhere. And I went and got him and skinned him. Then the last one I killed, I was on my porch at the house. What happened, I'd went hunting that morning. I'd stayed to about as long as I could sit, which ain't too long. And I come home, and I was doing something or piddling around the house there, and I saw a buck. I got an orchard on the north side of my house. I saw a buck start up across that orchard. Well, I had put up my 243. Well, I run in there and got my gun. I thought maybe, 'cause my pond was right in there, and that's the way he come from, I thought maybe he'd go back on that pond dam and stop for a little while. But he didn't. He kept going. When I got back outside, I never did see him. But I set my 243 down out there on up against the porch, and unloaded it, and took a bullet out, one shell out. Anyway, I sat down in my rocker, and I looked up, and that same deer had made a circle and was coming around, and I got a garden out on the other side of my house, on the south side. He had coming across my garden out there. Man, I grabbed my 243 up and put a shell in, and he got up to the edge of the road and stopped. Well, he ought not to stop. And I shot him, and that joker jumped straight up. I said, well, I must have killed that joker. I thought maybe he fell right there. I went up there, and I couldn't find him. I couldn't find no blood. I said, I know I hit him. I couldn't find nothing. I walked every which way, up and down, across the road, and because he crossed the road, I couldn't find no blood. But I had an old dog in that would halfway trail, and so I carried him down to the edge of the creek. The creek wasn't too far down there, and I saw him smelling around down in the creek, and I looked, and I saw that white on that deer down there, and that joker had got down to the creek and he was almost where he would have fell in the water. He was laying dead right on the edge of the water. Of course, it had a kind of an extra bank there. Well, I went and got my old tractor and me a long rope, and I backed up to the edge of the bank there, and I went out there and tied that rope around that deer's horns right up there at his head, and I cranked up the tractor. I said, well, he won't come up that bank when he gets up there to that. He'll hang. But he come up that bank and he come right on out of that bank. And I had heard that you could take an air hose and stick it on where that bullet went in, and it would blow that hide up, and it was easy to get it off. Well, I tried, and it will. It'll, that hide spread way out. So, cause I had done got old enough then, and arthritis in my hands, till I couldn't really skin them that good. So I tried that, and it blowed that joker up, and I still didn't get. I just got the back strap and the hounds. I didn't get no the front part of the ribs or nothing. I didn't want them, and it was good. That deer was a good eating deer. It must have been a young deer because it was a 6 or 7.2. I forgot what, but that was the last one I killed. But it was some good eating, and